We're live, folks. We're here getting stuff set up. Oh, hello. This is Brian Loma with Cut The Plastic, and you are about to get breaking news direct from the source of all inside news, Eric Brandt. Good morning, everybody. Hello. I have been spending the last 2 hours taking apart my sewing machine because my sewing machine's been binding up. The bobber's been jacked up. And all of you need to go. If you're here right now, you need to share this post. I'm about to play a video from Eric Brandt, an audio file that just came in. This is urgent news. This is breaking news. I'm looking up a couple of email addresses right now, some phone numbers. We are going to have you making phone calls. We are definitely in a free Eric Brandt kind of mode this morning. Although I did speak to an attorney. Good morning, Janet. And one of the attorneys that I spoke to says that they're confident that Eric's case is a violent charge. But what's more important is that in the last 24 hours, no less than 20, and it's believed to be 27, Jefferson County Sheriff's officers have been pulled from the jail due to diagnoses of COVID. And I'm going to just play the audio file for you directly.
Hello, Jefferson County Sheriff Detention. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. Are available for your loved one to take educational courses.
Can you hear me? Give me ones if you can hear this.
They can get a personal. To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free call, press 2. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, I got a hot one.
Yeah?
I just got denied an attorney visit.
Why? Because of COVID.
Okay. There's law. So my attorney scheduled a visit. It's a visit by telephone. So they're not allowing. So before we can go down for our attorney visit, they go through a questionnaire. You have these spell details for yada, yada, yada. And I said, no. And he says, in the last 14 days, have you been in contact with any person who has tested positive COVID or any symptoms of the bus? And I said, I have to answer that question in the affirmative, right? And he says, why? And I said, because I've been in contact with Deputy Schutt, who's one of 27 deputies that were removed the other day because of positive COVID testing. Okay, so now they've got this procedure. They contacted my lawyer and told them the visit's denied. It's a violation of Colorado statutes. Look it up. It's a $1,000 fine. I need to let Christian Griffin know that they denied my visit with him because of this. They're about to serve and they contacted medical. I don't know if I'm going to be quarantined or not.
Okay, I will email Christian right now.
My entire pod. This needs a live stream. It needs action. It needs phone calls.
Okay, I will email Christian and then I will go live right now.
So they didn't understand that I insist that they quarantine the entire 5A pod, which they physically did. And that means that they've already sent people to court today, and for other attorney visits who obviously answered the question differently, right? Because they're so short on staff right now that they're about to combine all the modules together because they don't have enough staff to man the facility. They had a whole bunch of people that were on quarantine, that were home sick for 14 days because of the time of COVID. They came back, they did down the other night, went through all of our stuff in great detail, and those deputies tested positive for COVID still, and they were just removed from duty again. So there's over 27 deputies here that are known positive for COVID, and now they're denying a telephone attorney visit because I answered affirmatively to that question.
How are you feeling?
I feel fine. I think I had COVID 3 weeks ago. So, and they're just now bringing our lunch in. I don't know if I'm going to get quarantined or not. I don't know what the process is going to be, but I heard him calling medical. So if you don't hear from me later, I might be on quarantine.
Okay, I'm going
But if I'm on quarantine, then the entire pod must also be on quarantine. They must now deny every attorney visit. Every single attorney visit unless they fix their policy. And keep in mind that they're not even allowing physical visits. This is just a visit with a telephone in a private room.
That's ridiculous because you should be able to talk to your attorney over the telephone.
What's going on, guys?
Sterilize the
Just
telephone.
give me a minute.
So I don't know if you still have Sergeant Williams' phone number.
Nope.
Let's see.
But we'll look for it. Don't give it to me out loud right now.
Doesn't matter. I'm
okay.
going to give it to you anyway.
I have it here. It's extension 54.
29. Okay,
29.
let's finish the video. It's not time to make letters. Now's the time to make the phone calls,
So,
Otto. Give me a
we need
second.
a call to action. That's Sergeant Rod Williams. He's the administrative sergeant. And I don't know what they're going to do, but they just denied me an attorney visit. And look up the Colorado statute on that. It's a $1,000 fine. So, all righty.
All right, folks. That's the
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Talk to you later. Bye.
that's the information. No, today, guys, I want you guys to focus. Today is phone calls. If you haven't mailed Eric Brandt, that's your own thing. You need to do that later. What I need you to do right now is start picking up the phone. Get to your computer screen, open a web browser, CBS 4, Fox 31, the Denver Post, the Colorado Springs channels, whatever it is, here's what we're focused on. The phone number for the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office is 303-271-0211. And the extension for Sergeant Robert Williams is 5429. And again, that's the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. And that phone number, 303-271-0211. The extension 5429 is Sergeant Robert Williams. But if you're out there right now, what you need to understand is that the Jefferson County Jail is full of COVID. 27 sheriff's officers have been sent have been sent to quarantine. They have been taken off the job, and the inmates are not being taken care of properly. There are no masks for the detainees. The inmates are being taken to their courts. They're being taken to the courts, and the inmates are moving them out amongst each other, and they're spreading COVID amongst each other. Eric made the comment that he thinks he had COVID 3 weeks ago. Okay. But the fact of the matter is that the jail is full of it. That 27 sheriffs have been diagnosed with COVID, and they are pulling people. They're also starting to pull people, and the plan is to put them all in the same damn pod. If you think that it's a ticking time bomb at the National Convention Center, think about what the ticking time bomb is at the the Jefferson Sheriff's Department. If you saw my video yesterday, that's right, that's the sheriff's office. And I think all of Jefferson County government needs to be brought into accountability into this, right? They should have an emergency response team as a county at a county level. Denver County does, right? So Jefferson County being right next door, they should have it as well. The call isn't mine. The call is Eric Brandt's. He just got off the phone with me less than 10 minutes ago. And the answer that he had was a quick 5-minute phone call. I think I'm going to be quarantined because I answered in the affirmative. I communicated with one of the sheriffs who was hauled out of here. All the other people in my pod who had interactions with that officer, they didn't say that they interacted with him, or they may not have said that they interacted with him. And so their business as normal, which means that they're not being isolated, they're not being masked up, they're not being given PPE. The sheriffs aren't handing extra activities onto that. Okay, so the reality is that all the inmates need out of there. Okay, they need to be quarantined, they need to be separated, and the difficulty that they're going to have with all of this definitely is that it's a ticking time bomb. 27 police from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office have been pulled. I'm not hearing that on the news yet. I haven't seen it on Twitter. I don't see that the inmates are getting tested. The governor hasn't talked about this next hot spot yet, right? And it is a hot spot. They pulled police, and then they brought them back to work, and then they pulled them back out again. Okay, so officers who are off of the work for 14 days, back on the job, spreading COVID inside the Jefferson Sheriff's Jefferson County Jail, and Eric's whole pod should be quarantined. Of course, it's not being reported, Trump said. Let the news know. That's exactly why I'm hitting you people up, okay? Because one voice doesn't make a difference. The one voice, if we're one man, we're one man because we're auditors, because we're constitutional defenders, because we're aware and educated. And for those of you who wondered, I did talk to Eric this morning. Back up. Thank you very much, Joe Cool, for getting this out there. This is an Eric Brandt call to action. Because this is my stream and this is a call for Eric, and I put people in timeout who are being rude and trying to take my distractions away. So the call to action is not to email Eric Brandt. The call to action is to call businesses, to call the news crews throughout the state of Colorado. Go to Twitter, to go to Instagram, go to Facebook, to hit up Golden, Colorado's government, right? Because the government seat in Golden for the county of Jefferson County, blow them up, if you will. You know, what are we gonna do? 50% of the people aren't at work, so we're just gonna keep moving along on this. So the numbers that you might look for, 303-271-0211 is the first number. And Sergeant Robert Williams, we want to know what's going on today. Thank you very much, Sally Smith. That's the kind of phone call that we're looking for. CBS 4, Fox 31. There's an NBC affiliate. There's a CBS and ABC, Fox, Telemundo, the Spanish channel if you speak Spanish. Jefferson County Administration Center. Look at that. Here's another phone number we're going to look for you. That's the school district building department administration. David B. Courtway, director of administration for, that's Missouri. Damn it. Good morning, everybody. I, again, am going to play this video for you, and I'm just asking you all to do some phone calls, some effort. It looks like there's a drive up for Jefferson County Administration. I'm looking for phone numbers, folks, to give you. That's all I'm missing. So I'm going to play the audio for you again. I want you all to hear this very clearly. Eric Brandt did call this morning. He is about to indicate that there are 27 Jefferson Sheriff's officers who have been pulled from duty. They have been working inside and outside of the courthouse. They've been taking people to court. They've been in the jail. They're spreading COVID around. And they're not quarantining the pods. Instead, they're planning on bringing all the inmates together. If you saw my video yesterday, you saw that Denver sheriffs aren't wearing masks. And they're locked up safe, but they're not wearing them. And that's in 2 buildings that I've observed so far. So whether it's Denver County, whether it's Jefferson County, make those phone calls, talk to the news, get this out there, and
tablets are available
have a moment
for
with
your
it.
loved one to take educational courses, search for jobs, and more. They can get a personal
And
to accept this free call.
Bobbins are killing me.
One, to refuse this free call, press to thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, I got a hot one.
Yeah?
I just got denied an attorney visit.
Why? Because of COVID.
Okay. Yeah, there's law. So my attorney scheduled a visit. It's a visit by telephone. So they're already in the line. So before we can go down for our attorney visit, they go through a questionnaire. You have these felony chills, fever, yada, 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 symptoms, yada, yada, yada. And I said, no. And she said, in the last 14 days, have you been in contact with any person who has tested positive for COVID or exhibited any of the symptoms above? And I said, I have to answer that question in the affirmative, right? And he says, why? And I said, because I've been in contact with deputies, 57 deputies that were removed the other day because of positive COVID testing.
Okay.
Okay, so now they got this procedure. They contacted my lawyer and told them the visit's denied. It's a violation of Colorado statutes. Look it up. It's a $1,000 fine. I need you to let Christian Griffin know that they denied my visit with him because of this. They're about to serve lunch, and they contacted medical. I don't know if I'm going to be quarantined or not.
Okay, I will email Christian right now.
My entire pod. This needs a live stream. It needs action. It needs phone calls.
Okay, I will email Christian, and then I will go live right now.
So if they quarantine me, then understand that I insist that they quarantine the entire 5A pod.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause right there for a second.
They've already sent people to court today.
5A is the pod that Eric stays in, and the fact of the matter is that his whole pod needs to be quarantined because he was in interaction with a deputy who showed positive for COVID, and so they need to bring more people into that jail to keep those people in quarantine. 5A.
And that means that they've already sent people to court today, and for other attorney visits who obviously answered the question differently, right? Because they're so short on staff right now that they're about to combine all the modules together because they don't have enough staff to man the facility. They had a whole bunch of people that were on quarantine, that were homesick for 14 days because they had COVID. They did a shakedown the other night, went through all of our.
I don't know what happened there. Why did my audio stop playing? Let's try that again.
This is a free call from.
Because of this, they're about to serve lunch, and they contacted medical. I don't know if I can be quarantined or not.
Okay, I will email Christian right now.
My entire pod.
I don't know what 314 is. That's not the right county.
Okay, I will email Christian, and then I will go live right now.
So if they quarantine me, then understand that I insist that they quarantine the entire 5A pod, which they can't physically do. And that means that they've already sent people to court today, and for other attorney visits who obviously answered the question differently, right? Because they're so short on staff right now that they're about to combine all the modules together because they don't have enough staff to man the facility. They had a whole bunch of people that were on quarantine, that were homesick for 14 days because they had signs of COVID. They came back. They did a shakedown the other night, went through all of our stuff in great detail. Those deputies tested positive for COVID still, and they were just removed from duty again. So there's over 27 deputies here that are known positive for COVID, and now they're denying a telephone attorney visit because I answered affirmatively to that question. COVID 3 weeks ago. So, and they're just not bringing our list in. I don't know if I'm going to get quarantined or not. I don't know what the process is going to be, but I heard he's calling medical. So if you don't hear from me later, I might be on quarantine.
Okay,
But if I'm on quarantine, then the entire pod must also be on quarantine. They must now deny every attorney visit. Every single attorney visit unless they fix their policy. And keep in mind that they're not even allowing physical visits. This is just a visit with the telephone in a private room.
that's ridiculous because you should be able to talk to your attorney over the telephone and they should be able to sterilize the telephone.
So I don't know if you still have Sergeant Williams' phone number.
Nope.
That's extension 5429.
The,
We'll look for it. Don't give it to me out loud right now.
It doesn't matter. I played
okay.
it.
I have it here. It's extension 5429. So we need a call to action. That's Sergeant Rod Williams. He's the administrative sergeant. And I don't know what they're going to do, but they just denied me an attorney visit and look at the call statute on that. It's $1,000 fine. So, all right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Talk to you later. Bye.
This is a free call from.
Stay heavy, folks. I'm going to make my phone calls once I get off. Oh, I could do that right here, couldn't I? Jefferson Sheriff. I could call them while we're here. Good night. So we're going to make that phone call. And I want you guys to make these phone calls, right? CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox, post it on Instagram, post it on Twitter, tag COVID, tag Colorado politics, whatever it takes. We want to know that they're doing the right thing. And if they're not doing the right thing, they need to be held accountable for doing the right thing. I haven't been to Jefferson County jail lately. I was at the Denver jail yesterday, and they're not wearing masks there. So if they're not wearing masks at Denver sheriffs, and they're passing on COVID amongst each other.
Police and Fire Dispatch, this is Neil.
Yeah, Neil, do you have a public resources information officer or something?
Okay, what is this regarding, sir?
The 27 Jefferson County Sheriff's officers who have been pulled from duty due to the diagnosis of COVID. I want to know if the inmates at the jail are being isolated. I want to know what's going on for masks and protecting the inmates who are not diagnosed with COVID yet, so that they don't get herded like cattle into one giant cell and have a little COVID party over there.
Okay, are you with a news agency? Or?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what news agency are you with?
That's my business, sir.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to pry or anything. I was just wondering who to put you in contact with. And this is with regard to Jefferson County?
This is the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, right?
Well, we dispatch for 10 different police agencies and 14 fire agencies, so we do have multiple jurisdictions.
Wait, so the Jefferson Sheriff's Department isn't even answering their own phone calls in the middle of a workday?
We are the dispatch center. We are the public service answering point for Jefferson County.
Okay, well, if Jefferson Sheriffs can't answer their phone, you should probably transfer me to somebody over there who does, please.
Okay, hold on just 1 second.
Thanks. What's up, babies? Look at that. And you guys are in chat mode today. What's up, baby? Auditing Chicago. Always film. So glad Jeff is here. Everybody that's on the live stream, I do appreciate you. If Pikes Peak Auditors is out there, I'm sorry. I just started muting pieces of information that were really pissing me off on the screen. So got that going on, and we are live. I should probably mute the mic so that they can not hear me. We are live at the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office dispatch people. And Eric Brandt is in the middle of COVID-infested jail cells. Thanks, Peachy Rider. This is definitely taking away from my sewing time and fixing.
Okay, sir. I do have the Jeffco Sheriff's Office Public Information Officer. The number I have here is for media and law enforcement only, so I'm going to need to confirm the news agency that you're representing.
I'm sorry, did you just tell me that the public information officer is not available to the public?
Yes, the public information officer is for media and law enforcement contact only.
Can I get your name and identification, please?
My name is Neil. My operator number is 1241.
Okay, Neil.
Was there anything else I could do with you?
Yeah, you can transfer me to the public information officer.
I'm getting instructions that tell me that I cannot transfer you without verifying your affiliation.
Affiliation to what?
If you give me your name and phone number, I can contact the PIO and have them reach out to you if that's something that you would find to be agreeable, sir.
Why can't you transfer me?
Sir, I've given you your options. This is what I'm being told is how this is to be handled. So I can have them reach out to you.
So I'm going to handle it like this. You can either transfer me, or you're about to start having a phone that rings 100 times a minute with 100 people calling to get through to this person. I'm the polite one calling. And you're currently live with over 100 citizens, and this broadcast is being rebroadcast in multiple countries as we speak. So, would you be kind enough to transfer me to the public information officer before I start broadcasting the number that I'm on right now?
I've already advised you of the protocol for this situation, and I'm not in a position to change that. I do have an.
I want to talk to your supervisor.
Okay. You have a good day, sir.
Send me your supervisor. That phone number, which he disconnected me from, is 303-271-0211. And that's just the dispatch center. Again, that's 303-271-0211. And it's very simple. Public information officer. What is going on at the Jefferson County Jail with 27 sheriffs? 27. How are the inmates being taken care of? Are they wearing masks? Do they get PPE? Are they being quarantined by pods so they don't infect each other? These are real questions that you should be asking. I'm going to ask again because thanks, Leslie. That's why we're live.
Regional Communications Center. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. The next available call taker will be with you shortly. Esta es la línea de no emergencia para el Centro de Comunicaciones de Jeffcom. Si tiene una emergencia, cuelgue y marque 911. El próximo operador disponible le tomará la llamada. If you are calling about COVID-19 resources such as housing, food, or transportation, please hang up and dial 211, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., or visit the website 211colorado.org. Si está hablando
Pretty
por
simple, right,
recursos de
James?
coronavirus,
Jody?
como vivienda, comida o transporte,
If you're just
por
tuning
favor
in,
cuelgue y marque 211. De
there
lunes
are
a viernes,
27
8 de la mañana a
Denver
5
or
de la
Jefferson
tarde,
County
o
Sheriff's officers
visite la
who've been
página web
diagnosed with COVID.
211
Eric wanted to call his attorney. He had an appointment,
If you are calling
and they wouldn't
county jail,
let
hang
him
up and dial
connect.
303-271-5444.
I am being. Thank you very much, Peachy
Repeating,
Rider.
303-271-5444.
Right? I was being very polite.
Jeff Cobb Police and Fire Dispatch, this is Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. I'm calling to talk to the public information officer, please.
Public Information Officer for where?
Is this not the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department number?
We're a multi-agency dispatch. You need the Public Information Officer for Jefferson County Sheriff?
Yes, please.
Let me see their main number. Hold on just a moment, okay?
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Nothing like a little excitement in your day. Brandt. No, get this bobber fixed. Be in good shape. An hour and a half I spent. I actually tore this whole thing apart, put it back together, but the bobber's still dumping. It's on tight as I can get it. I rethread my bobber so I don't have squishy thread. My garden can wait. Yeah, if you're on the phone.
This is Mike Chaplin.
Hello, Mike?
Yes.
Are you the public information officer for Jefferson Sheriff's Department?
I am.
Well, Mike, it's a pleasure to get to talk to you today. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but some previous calls and efforts said that you were not available to communicate. We're calling to find out what's going on with the inmates over there. Since you guys have pulled 27 sheriffs out of the jail, what needs to be done to make sure that the inmates are safe distancing and have PPE so they're not spreading it or recontagioning each other?
Yeah. And can I ask who's speaking, just so I know who I'm talking to?
Yeah, my name's Brian.
Hey, Brian. And I typically deal with people in the media. Are you with any sort of media
Oh, absolutely.
company, or just...
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Which one?
Well, we broadcast live news in the Denver metro area, representing stories for a variety of agencies.
Gotcha.
I'm a bit of a stringer, if you will.
Sure. Well, we've been releasing inmates that qualify. So I'm sure you're aware that we had some budget issues. The entire county had some budget issues this year. So through a natural attrition, we did not rehire deputies.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about
jail.
I'm talking about the 27 sheriffs that have been pulled in the last 21 days from duty. Either they were put on 14-day quarantine, or sometime in the last 7 days they were then put back onto work.
And I'm trying to answer your question.
Okay.
It'll get there. It all makes sense, I promise.
Okay.
So we came up with a way to keep the inmate population safe at a safe number. Our new operational capacity was 1148. So we came up with certain directives in order to release inmates early. But that was more for budget purposes because we didn't have the personnel to be able to maintain a safe, larger inmate population like we had. So we had set up a list basically of how we were going to release inmates early. We're now using that same directive to release inmates early in order to get better social distancing in the jail, as opposed to just because we can't afford to hire as many deputies as we need to staff a full jail. So we're releasing inmates early so that the inmate population is more spread out.
and able to stay more of a safe distance away. The DA's office, along with the courts, have been working on getting more inmates PR bonds as opposed to a cash bond or
law anyway.
bond.
So the is part of what the state legislature demanded, and that went into effect at the beginning of the year. So we still are trying to
So
get
that's another way that the inmate population has been decreasing like that.
right.
So the
What I'm
inmate
really trying to
population
get
is
to
down quite a bit,
is that
and
bottom
now-
of the 27 sheriffs.
Mm-hmm. Well, when we need people to work overtime, and they will work overtime, people are being able to step up.
But you have
We don't
released
we're not.
you have released
Go ahead.
27 sheriffs. Either put them in quarantine.
Yeah, well, I don't know exactly what the exact number is today, but just like the normal population, if someone is experiencing symptoms, then they're asked to quarantine. If their doctor recommends that, then they do that. We've just been able to set up some testing now for our first responders. So now we're able to kind of get some rapid testing done.
And so if there's
go
ahead.
And then they're coming back to work as soon as they can, as soon as they're able to.
So what about testing the inmates then? Since you have positive tests for sheriffs who have worked in pods, we're assuming that you probably have some inmates who have need safe quarantining.
Yeah, so we have a medical provider in the jail that we have they're called WellPath, and we go off of their recommendations, and they have some criteria that need to be met in order to get testing done. If someone is experiencing symptoms, or if someone says, I've been in contact with someone experiencing symptoms, or if I've been in contact with someone who tested positive, then those inmates, we've been able to reopen some of the floor that we shut down for isolation purposes. So then inmates are placed into isolation.
So when a deputy who was diagnosed positive with COVID and has worked in a pod has been sent home for being diagnosed or being a presumptive positive, what steps are being done to ensure that that entire pod is quarantined for the period in a way that allows their court dates to continue, their jail visitations or their phone visitations with their attorneys? And if somebody is, as an inmate, presumptive positive, does that then preclude them from having the capacity of having a phone visit with their attorney?
No, all rights are still afforded to all the inmates. You're asking about like 20 questions there, so it's difficult for me to try to keep track of exactly what you're asking. But the inmates have also been using old uniforms. We're cutting up the old uniforms to make masks that they can all wear for PPE. With spreading the inmates out, because we have less inmates, in our minimum security side of the jail, where we have like the dormitory, more like the dorm setup, like college dorm setup. The inmates are sleeping in every other bunk, sleeping head to toe, rather than everybody facing the same direction. We're basically doing the best that we can with what we have.
Okay, and so when so I'm going to go back to the question. When a Jefferson sheriff who works a pod is diagnosed or given a presumptive positive, what safeguards are then done for that pod to ensure that the spread of COVID does not occur, but also so that all of the detainees in that pod are protected, and that and that protection is not.
So let's just go one question at a time.
Yep.
Okay. But if a deputy is tested positive, then public health is made aware of it. Public health does all the investigations as to where that person has been, who they've been in contact, and what their recommendations are, and that's what we go off of. That, in addition to the medical provider that the jail has, WellPath, we go off of their recommendations. And to my knowledge, only one inmate has qualified or has met the certain recommendations to be tested, and the test came back negative.
Okay, so 27 sheriffs is the number that we have of sheriffs who have been diagnosed as positive and been pulled from the jail. So what measures are being done to ensure that those inmates in those pods have the social distancing and the quarantining that they need? So I got a report.
Yeah, kind of like I've already told you.
Okay.
We're kind of going in circles in here, and I know I know you like to stream. You may be streaming this conversation now. I know I've seen some of the videos that I've got to get to. We are doing everything we can to keep everybody safe.
So the understanding is that an inmate today diagnosed themselves as having had contact with a deputy sheriff who
Deputies and inmates are socially distancing themselves within the jail. If any inmate has any symptoms, or if they have any fears that they have any symptoms, or that they've been in contact with anybody, then they are put into isolation.
So
they're being taken care of.
So
that in conjunction with WellPath, who is the medical provider.
With WellPath, but that would not deny somebody their ability to communicate with their attorney, correct?
Correct. We're making ways for people to talk with their attorneys if they can do it over the phone or video conference.
Well, we're receiving information that inmates today are being denied the ability to communicate with their attorney because they've been in contact with deputy sheriffs who contacted COVID, and they're not allowed to talk to their attorneys, but they're...
I'm not aware of any of that. I'm sorry. I'm actually very busy. I have to go. Thank you for calling, and thank you for your concern, and please take care.
Well, you're being made aware now, sir. And he hung up on me. He doesn't get it. Wow, holy cow, there's a whole bunch of you in here. Hi, everybody. Wow, what an hour. What a 45-minute time span. We got them. Aha. No masks. They didn't say they were wearing masks. He has other calls on hold. Well, I hope some of your calls are as productive as my calls. And by the way, there is a Colorado COVID reporting hotline. And we should just see if there's a way to call that hotline right now. Soap. Oh, soap. That's right. Did you see the video that I sent Otto? Now is a good time for Eric's mailing information. Now that we've got some phone calls setting up, that we've got some people calling the news and things like that, now's a good time to post the mailing address for Eric Brandt so all of you can mail him. Yesterday I went to the sheriff's office. I went to the jail. I went to the sheriff's office, the jail, and the courthouse. And I didn't go in because you can't videotape inside the buildings due to some rules that are unconstitutional at best. And they weren't wearing masks. So Denver 311 is the number that we want to call. And I want to report these people because we're supposed to report businesses and entities, uniform. Yeah. I was trying to figure out how to send them masks. Really, I was.
Wait while I transfer your call. Thank you for calling 311. If this is a police, fire, or medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911. If you would like to hear the latest update from the city and county of Denver on coronavirus awareness, press or say 7. If you are calling for information regarding your Colorado state driving license,
I'm like planning on having a peaceful day sewing. My head is shook up. Hello?
Sorry you are having troubles. Please try again. Thank you for calling 311. If this is a police, fire, or medical emergency,
Hear that
please
ticking?
hang up. Sorry you are having troubles. Please try again.
I don't like it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Sorry you are having troubles. Please try again.
It's ticking. That's what's going on with my machine. I'm not happy about it. The voice call, that system just died, right? That was 311. What the fuck is wrong with these people today?
Thank you for contacting the City and County of Denver.
I did oil it.
Habla español.
I spent 2 hours oiling this thing. Took it apart and oiled it.
Wait while I transfer your call. Thank you for calling 311.
Needle is hitting
If this is
the plate. Operator.
sorry you are having troubles, please try again.
Thank you for calling City and County of Denver. This is Audrey. Can I have your name, please?
Yeah, Audrey, my name's Brian.
Okay, is this Brian Lorna?
No, that's not my last name, but that doesn't really matter.
Okay, we have it spelled wrong. I want to make sure we have it spelled.
Can we talk about the
Okay,
issue?
help you.
I want to report organizations not wearing their masks.
Okay, just a moment and I'll give you the number that you would report that to. I'm going to give you the Department of Health. And the number is 303 692 2000. Would you like me to connect you?
That'd be great. Thank you.
Sure, one moment.
Stitch width setting. That's definitely an issue. I feel like
And environment. Our office hours are from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Please make your selection from the following options. For birth and death records, press 1. For assistance with your Colorado medical marijuana registration, press 2 or
Hey,
dial
look it.
303
money in the bank.
692-2184. For common questions, please visit colorado.gov, search medical marijuana, click on medical marijuana registry, then click on frequently asked questions. For bed bugs, press 3. For health-related issues such as restaurant, grocery store, or food complaints, health facilities, immunization, disease control, tobacco cessation program, cancer or prevention services, press 4. To report an environmental spill or release, press 5. For environmental related issues such as water, air, vehicle emissions testing, asbestos, hazardous and solid waste, and radiation, press 6. For laboratory services, press 7. For operations, community relations, emergency preparedness, communications, and the executive director's office, press 8. If you listen to this recording again, press star. For restaurant, food, or for grocery store complaints in the following counties: Conejos, Costilla, Garfield, Grand, Jackson, Mineral, Moffett, Rio Grande, and Szechuan, press 1. For all other counties, contact the county where located.
Oh, that was
The
311 where I was
contact
calling.
information can be found at www.colorado.gov/CDPHE under Contact Us and find your local public health agency.
We're going to go about this in a different way. So I hope you guys are still making phone calls to the news, to what you need to call out there. Denver Department of Public Health. Let's call them next. Because that's definitely an issue. Oh, that's 311. Who would have guessed? Fuckers. Dirty, dirty birds. So we're gonna we're just gonna call them back. Yep, that's the number. I'm gonna ask for a room this time though.
Thank you for contacting the City and County of Denver. Para Español, oprimo dos. Wait, I'll transfer your call. Thank you for calling 311. If this is a police, fire, or medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911.
You want to recap what Eric Brandt said? I can do that. I said there's 27 people in jail, sheriffs.
Jefferson County Sheriff Detention. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
Tablets are available for your loved one to take educational courses, search for jobs, and more. They can get a personal.
Sorry, you are having trouble. Please try again.
Use this free call press.
Thank you for calling 311.
Too many phone calls on my thing.
If this is a police, fire, or medical emergency, please. Thank you for calling
I don't know.
elections. We are currently
It's
closed.
the wrong number.
Please call
Jesus,
during this-
people. Hi. We're going to get through to this. The bottom of this, we're going to get this. Oh, hey. You,
Thank you for contacting
Give me a new
the
phone
City and County
number.
of Denver.
thanks. I'll call that number. Don't talk right now. 303-232-6301. Whatever that was, I'm calling it. Recap. Eric Brandt called me today. 27
Thank you for calling Jefferson County Public Health. Gracias por llamar al Departamento de
That's even
Salud
better.
Pública del Condado de Jefferson. For English, press 1. Para Español, presione el número 2.
Thank you for calling Jefferson County. Please stay on the line
I did.
and be connected
I
to the
old
office
it
you are calling.
well. I reset.
Jefferson County Public Health has issued a public health order to close county buildings in Jefferson County.
I don't know how to
the public.
reset all the plates
This will
though.
continue until April 26th unless earlier amended, extended, or
Susan Smith
revised by the Director
Fabric?
of Jefferson County Public Health. However, this does not include certain law enforcement and court services. Also, many offices are still able to provide services online or remotely. Please contact departments directly for these services and visit www.jeffco.us/coronavirus to learn more.
Please listen carefully as our menu options have changed. For our office hours and locations, press 1. If you are calling for birth or death certificates, press 2. If you are calling regarding information or an appointment for family planning, testing, and immunizations, press 3.
Eric's been in
If
contact.
you are calling regarding information
With
or an
somebody who
appointment
had
at our
COVID.
WIC office, press 4. If you are calling regarding food service license, plan review, health inspection,
He's being denied
terminal
his
issues,
attorney.
press 5.
Communications
To an
phone calls.
operator, press 9. To repeat these options, press the pound key.
I need a new sewing
Are you still
machine.
there?
Please listen carefully as our menu options.
Please try again.
Please listen carefully.
I need a human being.
Health, how can I direct your call?
Yeah, I need to know. I'm really concerned about what's going on at the Jefferson County Jail. and how inmates are not being quarantined or safe distance given proper PPE. They're interacting with sheriffs who have COVID, and then they're not being separated out. There's talk that they're all going to be put into one giant room.
Okay, let me file a report for you, sir. One moment, please.
Thank you. My sheen is
And at
dying.
that jail,
Sorry, go ahead.
at that jail,
I got a phone call today from an inmate in the jail.
okay, and can you have, can I get the name of the inmate, sir?
Eric Brandt.
That's okay. Okay, so he's reporting that there's no PPE, so there's no hand sanitizer or anything like that, right?
Well, what I'm concerned about is that he went to go have an attorney's phone call today, a phone call with his attorney, and he was given a pre-screening, a health screening for COVID, and he said, "Well, of course I have to answer in the affirmative. These sheriffs that I was in that have been pulled from the jail for being diagnosed with COVID, I was in contact with them. But other people in my pod have been moving about, going to their court dates, doing other things. So there's an unequal balance and they're not taking care of it properly, right? So like if the sheriff's department knows that a sheriff worked in a pod and became diagnosed with COVID or is a presumptive positive, all the inmates in that pod should be quarantined. They should have access to their attorneys through a quarantine method, through their court dates through a quarantine method, and probably not be traveling about freely, potentially spreading the COVID that they could be carriers of, even without any signs, if they were in contact with the sheriffs that were diagnosed. And so,
Okay, so there's no quarantining. Did you say there wasn't any like hand sanitizer or anything like that also?
I didn't get that conversation directly out of the call that I had. I actually taught, and I'm getting a couple of my call there. They're not giving soap to their inmates, so I forgot to ask when I had that inmate phone call today. But I definitely want to make sure that that's something that's being looked at. But I know that I think it was Pod 5A. There was a sheriff, and it's a veterans pod. There was a sheriff who had COVID that was working in that pod, and they're not getting some measures to be isolated from other, so that they, if they're contaminated in that pod, that they're not spreading it.
Okay.
And I was informed that they're making.
Go ahead.
I was informed that they're making masks out of old inmate uniforms, and I'm concerned that they may, as somebody who's making masks at a medical grade for medical professionals, I'm really concerned about what kind of masks they're getting if they're making them out of old uniforms, and that those specs might not be meeting particulate matter requirements if there's only one layer, if they're not using cotton or olefin, double layering it up, things like that.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, I'm writing all this down here for the report here. Okay, anything else, sir?
I think that I think you're getting the gist of it, right? That there's in one unit where a sheriff has been in contact with people and people have been in contact with each other. Some people are allowed to move around at will, others are not, or per they're scheduled, and others are having things denied of them. And I think that's, it's a slippery slope. But I'm really concerned that 27 sheriffs. There's got to be a sanitation, some recommendations. And if they, think, like I said, I got a call. It seems like they might be considering putting all the inmates into consolidation, and that's just going to help spread this further in the jail if that's the case.
Okay.
So I understand that that the masks are not being provided for all people in a pod or in a unit. I'm getting some messages here on my computer screen from somebody that was in contact, and the deputies are not wearing masks. The inmates are not given masks uniformly, so they're picking and choosing who gets a mask, and not safeguarding everybody. And I think that's definitely an issue.
Okay. I've got that. So far I've got that Eric was exposed to sheriffs who have COVID, no quarantine procedures. Pod 5A has a positive sheriff case with no isolation of inmates. Masks are made out of old uniforms that don't meet standards. Inmates are allowed to roam around, I'm assuming with no social distancing. Masks are only provided for some inmates, and the deputies are not wearing masks.
That sounds like a great summation of the information that I have received this morning.
Okay, perfect. Now, can I get your phone number, sir?
Hold
Are you
on.
Brian?
I am. Again, that's Cut the Plastic.
Yep, at Gmail. So did you receive this report from Eric today?
I received a report, and it appears that some other people have had communication with inmates in the facility today to confirm it.
Okay. Can you think of anything else before I submit this, sir?
No, I just really want to know that there's a plan of action, right? That this is responded to effectively. And again, if the deputies aren't even wearing face masks and PPE, and their coworkers are being diagnosed, then the Jefferson County Sheriff's Administration isn't actually taking this seriously.
Mm-hmm. What we do is we send this to our emergency preparedness response team, and then this goes to the disease investigators, and they'll be on it, I assure you.
I thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much for reporting this, Brian. You have a safe day, and we'll get this going for you.
Yeah, can I get your first name again?
My name is Kathleen.
Kathleen, thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
All righty. Take care, sir.
You too. Have a great day.
Bye. You too. Bye-bye.
Imagine Eric refuses to take a mask in a pod with fellow oath takers unless everybody gets one. That's amazing. Thank you for getting that to us, Lacey. Thank you, Defend, for reiterating that. And now we're going back to Denver 311 because I want to talk to somebody bad. I want to know why the Denver sheriffs aren't wearing a PPE. We're supposed to report it. We're going to report it.
Thank you for contacting the City and County of Denver. Para Español, oprimo dos.
Wait while I transfer your call. Thank you for calling 311. If this is the police, fire, or medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911. If you would like to hear the latest update from the City and County of Denver on coronavirus awareness, press or say 7. If you are calling for information regarding your Colorado
Otto, you
state
gotta
driving-
email, you said.
Sorry you are having troubles. And thank you for calling 311. If this is a police, fire, or medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911. If you would like to hear the latest update from the City and County of Denver on coronavirus awareness, press or say 7. If you are calling for information regarding your Colorado state driving license or ID, say driver's license, and you will be transferred. For
Working on
Treasury,
getting the email.
taxes, or property value information, press or say 1. For trash, recycle, or compost inquiries, press or say 2. For animal shelter or pet information, press or say 4. For Denver motor vehicle plates, registration, or renewals, press or say 5. For information on the Denver Temporary Rental Utility Assistance Housing Crisis Program, press or say 6. For all other inquiries, press or say 3, or stay on the line for the next available representative.
I'm on the line with Denver 311, and I put mute on. Thank you for...
Thank you for calling the City and County of Denver. You're speaking with Matthew. May I take your name, please?
Hi, Matthew. My name is Brian, and I need to talk. I got two issues right now. The first one is that Denver 311, when I ask for COVID reporting, sends me to the state of Colorado Health Department, and I'm obviously calling the City and County of Denver, so I should be talking to the City and County of Denver Health Department. And so I want to make sure that the call center gets the number correct, because this is like the second or third time that I've tried to reach and I keep getting the wrong information, and it's finally triggered to me that the reason I keep getting the wrong information is because I keep going to the state and not the city's health department.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so Denver 311 needs to send people who are calling to report in Denver to Denver Health Department, not the state of Colorado, because they don't handle most of the complaints. It's done by county.
All right. Okay. I will let my management know about that issue that you had. But what is it you want to report?
I want to report Denver government not wearing masks. I want to tell on Denver employees who aren't following the guidelines and wearing a mask while at work.
Or who is it you've seen not wearing a mask? Which employees?
Are you the person who takes the report?
I am indeed, yes.
And you work for the health department?
No, we take the reports on behalf of the health.
No, the last two times I was transferred.
I'm sorry about that. What is it that you want to report now?
So I was at the Denver jail, and I was at the Denver courthouse yesterday. And I directly observed and recorded Denver sheriffs not wearing masks. I recorded clerks leaving the building without masks on, right? They were at work without wearing masks. And I talked to people who were released from the jail, say that even though Denver had a practice of not providing soap prior to COVID, they haven't changed that policy. And the inmates inside the Denver jail at the Advanced Cease Detention Facility don't have soap.
Okay.
And these are all catastrophic issues. If the sheriffs aren't going to wear their masks, then the inmates should be released. Because at Jefferson County, 27 sheriffs have been diagnosed with COVID. And they're walking around the jail and spreading it to the inmates. And Denver needs to stop that.
Which jail was this at?
That was at the Jefferson jail.
No, I mean which jail in Denver were you?
I was at the downtown facility.
Okay. All right.
I gotta call her later. Great. Sorry, I'm talking out loud to myself. Reading my email here.
Okay.
Just
I
got
will put
a
a report over to public health
email from
inspection
Otto.
and get them to investigate that the court and the jail downtown center, downtown detention center. Would you like a reference number for this case?
Oh, would I?
Okay, it's going to be 425-8324.
Will I get the results of my complaint returned to me?
I can get a request someone to give you a call back about this, yes.
That'd be wonderful.
Okay, I'll put that on the notes. Is there anything else I can help you with right now? Any other questions?
No, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. You have a good day.
You too. Okay. I just got a lovely text, and I'm just going to be really clear about it. I sniped somebody's chat earlier today because they were saying to listen to me, that I'm a god, and I just wasn't in the mental place to have that. And so, if somebody out there in the internet world is mad at me today, it's really because of my ADD and my own issues. And if you have a problem that I control my stream, I'm sorry with that. So what I have here is a phone call from Otto the Watchdog that I received 6 minutes ago in my email box. And let's see what it has to say. Lacey, that didn't make sense to me. It's on speakerphone, so I can't hear it. That's why I can't hear this. He's on speaker.
Hi, yes, hi. How are you doing today? I hope everything is well. I have some concerns about the safety and security of the Jefferson County detention facility, the county jail. And I would like to speak to the public information officer as soon as possible.
Okay, at the jail?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure who's in the office. Let me put you over to the main jail number to talk to somebody there. Hold on just a moment, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
can't make these calls on a speakerphone to record them as loudly, that helps if you're not on speaker, just so that we all know about calling on ACR.
Yeah. Yeah, Watchdog Investigative News Network. Investigative reporters. You know, I currently employ 1,000 people. They don't get paid much. Oh, yes. I have some concerns about the security and the safety of the Jefferson jail, and I've been trying to talk to somebody about it.
What kind of concerns do you have, sir?
I'm afraid that everybody's going to die. I heard that 27 of the deputies have COVID, and I'm concerned that they may have infected all of the inmates as well.
Let me keep you under center control. I have to speak to a sergeant on duty, okay?
Okay, thank you.
One moment. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, how can I help you?
Yes, I was instructed to ask to speak to the sergeant on duty.
Yeah, man, who's calling?
You can.
Okay. It's to actually get you in touch, because we have a lot of supervisors, so they work different areas.
Oh,
and it's something we'll actually need.
Into medical, I think. Someone over medical. So my concern is that 27 deputies have tested positive for COVID-19, which is apparently like this fucking terrifying thing or whatever that everybody's apparently going to die from. And I'm kind of concerned that the inmates have also been infected, which is really fucked up because it's no fault of theirs, you know. And my friend is there, and I'm afraid that he might die from this, and it kind of sucks. And I want to come and see him, but I can't come and see him because, of course, if I leave my house, I'm going to die from COVID-19.
Okay.
So well, do you know if it's true or not that 27 deputies have been confirmed with COVID?
So there's a weird deal with how to test for it, and COVID-19 is just one strain of it. So the test that they've been giving people is just to see if they've had any form of coronavirus in their system.
There's more than one? Is that what the 19 means? Are there more than 19? What the fuck, bro?
Coronavirus is just it's the technical name for basically the common cold. This version of it is just kind of a more infectious version. It kind of has more complications that go along with it. But it's just another form of that. So the test that people have been given is it just tests if you've had any sort of coronavirus, any version of it in your system. And then if they suspect that you need to go for the official kind of more complicated COVID-19 coronavirus, then they send them out for that, just to see if they have that or not. So.
Did you say that COVID is the common cold?
It's a form of it, yeah. It's the same strain as the common cold, it's just a different
No.
mutation of it.
The difference in the coronavirus is it has crowns.
Okay, I thought people were dying from this thing.
They are. You can die from getting a cold. That's why a lot of people with compromised immune systems or respiratory problems are the ones that are dying from it.
Okay. So I can go outside? Alright, well, is my friend going to be okay? I mean, because all the deputies were like, you know, if all the deputies got this thing and, you know, everybody's real fucking scared about it, and now, you know, apparently now it's not that big of a deal. At least you're not too worried about it.
No, we're not necessarily too worried about it. We test pretty much everybody that comes in, and anybody that comes in through booking that shows any signs or symptoms of anything.
Oh, through booking. See, that's where you fucked up, because it wasn't the inmates that had it. It was the deputies. I see. I guess that having a badge doesn't protect you against viruses, does it?
No.
Is there any chance that these 27 deputies are going to die?
Likely not.
God damn it. Well, that's That's unfortunate. Yeah. So it's not that big of a deal, but everything's shut down.
Well, they're just afraid that it's going to spread to the more at-risk population.
They're afraid that everybody's going to get the common cold.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more technical than that when you get down to it.
No crap.
Coronavirus has been around for a long time. It's just a different mutation of it.
Oh, okay.
So is there anything else that I can help you with, or?
Yeah. What do you have PPE? Do you need masks or gloves or? Is the whole jail quarantined? Are y'all going to release inmates now that you don't have enough guards to watch everybody?
They've already have quite a lot of people, so.
Oh, is it? Are the inmates being calm, or are they rioting, or?
No, it's all good.
Okay, everything's cool.
Yep.
All right, nice. Yeah, good, plenty of food.
Oh yeah.
All right, hot showers and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I just wanted to check on you. That scared me, but I appreciate you telling me that COVID's not very, not the scary thing that everybody is. I mean, I've been scared as fuck for the last 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Right, it's scary, and the news kind of puts it out there like it's crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, when I found out the 27 deputies had it, first I was excited. I was like, oh good, maybe we'll get one of them.
Right.
But then when I realized that they've been watching inmates, who that's kind of scary. So are they going to quarantine like whole pods, or are they going to allow, like, if their attorneys show up, can the inmates still visit their attorneys?
Yeah, they do.
No, but you're still not going to let anybody out because it's not like they're turning into zombies. People are dying and turning into zombies. Okay, that's good to know. All right, I appreciate you. Thank you for calming me down.
Okay. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was a phone call from my friend Otto. And that's the only email I have from him. The food supplier should be Janet's Kitchen. Thumbs up, Otto. Very good job. Contract for Aramark. Oh. Okay. So many things going on here. Good job, Otto. Good job, friends in code, everybody else who's in here, for hanging out, joining us in this adventure. I just got an email from one of Eric's attorneys, and I'm supposed to call another attorney because it was the wrong one. So we're going to do that message real quick. And Cut the Plastic. Vaseline, you can go to wordpress.cuttheplastic or cuttheplastic.wordpress.com to learn more about the foundation and roots of my work in environmental protections and sustainability. And I should take a minute to say hi to Missy Knight, Samantha Brownstone, defend in Georgetown. The citizens prisoner meals, and they love it. Missy Knight, Pierre Philistine, News Now 702, Vaseline, Al SoCal, the Happy Hippie, Stephanie on sub, everybody who's in here, Chronic Shusher. Just want to continue to say thank you for being here, for hanging out. Again, for those of you who need a recap, Eric Brandt is in jail, right? 27 police officers, sheriffs, deputies who work at the jail have been removed. Craig's List 04 from the list and from working, and we're worried about spreading COVID over there. So yeah, thank you all for joining, all for being part of this insanity. and finding a little bit of sanity break in this. I thank you, Avi. Hopefully, you'll be getting your mask soon. Caterpillar, how's it going? PJ, Pierre Philistine. I just got to call this attorney real quick. I'm probably going to put you on mute, but maybe not. Beth Tucker, Boss Mayor. Did you hear my? It's really sad right now. It's binding up like that.
Hello, you've reached Katie Hartigan. I can't come to this one right now, but please leave a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you, and have a great day.
Hey, Katie, my name is Brian, and my number... I am calling today because Eric Brandt called me. I guess Christian Griffin says you were trying to call him today. They denied Eric a phone call with his attorney today, which I understand is a constitutional violation or statutory violation here in the state of Colorado. They denied him that phone call because he said that he had been in contact with one of the 27 sheriffs who have been removed from duty at the Jefferson detention facility, Jefferson County Jail, due to their presumptive positive or positive diagnoses of COVID. My understanding is that Eric's pod is not being quarantined. They are not all being provided with PPE to ensure that they don't spread their possible contraction of that, and they're not being put in any kind of secure quarantine settings to ensure that they as a pod don't infect the rest of the jail. Instead, we've been informed that they're possibly trying to put them all together in one room and have a chickenpox party. So the process that we've gone through, we've called the Jefferson County Health Department, we've called the Jefferson County Jail, the public information officer, all kinds of people trying to figure out and get this solved. But the biggest deal is that people were going to court. They were talking to their attorneys on the phone from his pod, and I don't know if they're not being... I don't know what's going on, but it's a mess. And if Eric isn't getting communications to his attorneys, then we gotta do that for him. So that's the call I'm making today. Thank you very much. You got my number at the beginning of the message. Have a great day. Man, this shit's causing me to lose my hair. I bet you HP 111 was in here. Because that's probably where the $2 came from. Lacey, get a all-call recorder. Check the bobbin. The needle is hitting it. Okay, so I know that. And that's my problem, right? Let me find my sewing machine screwdriver around here somewhere. I've taken this apart a dozen times today, quite honestly. Okay. It's not a fat roll, but see, this is becoming looser and looser. I don't know how to tighten it any further. I've screwed this in all the way, right? You gotta have a special screwdriver because of the way these things are setting. If you don't use the angled screwdriver, then suffu us even more. You could only see the floor. Well, Lacey, then yeah, Eric needs to call other people who are able to do that. He can call me back. Little oil on the spindle. I don't know which one's the spindle. 124. Yeah, I've been making masks. I got an order today from FTP up there in South Dakota, and I oiled this whole machine. So this is the tension thing. It's on 3 right now. Okay. But I think that's for the string, right? Yeah, Lacey, remind Eric that he can call Friends in Code. Friends in Code can return phone calls. So I'm just taking my machine apart for the end of this video. And every hour, well, no, they're going to put him in quarantine. So, it's going to be retaliated against. That's too fucking bad, man. I mean, I'm sorry, but, it sucks that we have to be holding our government accountable and that Eric's in the line of fire again. It's not too fucking bad that Eric's in the line of fire. It's fucking horrible. Right? What is this shit? So, it sucks. It absolutely is ridiculous. Why is it that these oath takers, it's a veterans pod. Yeah, I'm sure he will be. The idea that all inmates deserve masks. All of them. Public health department's coming in. Okay? The public health department is going in. So here's the deal, Selena. Don't do that. I'm going to teach you right now how to not do that. Each piece has 3 sews, right? So what you do is you cut out a whole bunch of these. And then you do 1 stitch. And then you do the next. So there's only a little bit of gap in between them. And then you do the next piece, and the next piece, and the next piece. And you always leave a piece under the needle, come to the back side, cut it, and then keep feeding it, right? So the only thing that you have to do there, Selena, is change the thread every time the bobber is dead and clean it and all that jazz, right? Somebody in here was talking to me about fixing this machine. So I'm going to just show you. God. I've been cleaning this. Okay, so use newer thread. Also change the tension on the thread. You might have it so tight that it's just breaking and not flowing. The other thing is that your thread needs to be woven the right way on the machine. I know I'm learning these things too, and it's just fuckery. So I mean, I usually keep mine on 3, 4. See, I wish we could have a recording of that. And Skullet, is that what you were calling it now? Wilma Dickfit. I'm glad that Eric had the place in an uproar. So we're going to focus on this here. This is the only other arm that I could imagine having to change would be this screw here or this screw on the inside. And I don't know that I want to play with those, right? This machine moves sideways a little bit, the needle, right? Even when it's not in sideways setting, which it can be, and then it doesn't move so much. But otherwise, if it's just in straight stitch, it's got some play to it. And it's not the newest machine. It's not the tightest. Selena. Bobbin casing. The only screws are these two screws. 1, 2 screws right there. 2 screws on the bobbin casing right there. There is no tension in this stuff here. Robert Bonner, good to see you, buddy. All kinds of things yelling at me all over the place. Also, my understanding is that's for Selena. Okay. So these screws I don't touch anything with, right? I don't even think I have anything that's small. I know, Selena, mine too. You want to come over? We'll trade back massages. And I'll go first, just to be fair. Anyway, I'm losing you people, so 6 minutes and 20 people have dropped. The reality is that Eric Brandt is at the Jefferson County COVID facility, as we're now calling it. The Jefferson County Jail had 27 sheriffs who have COVID, and he's not happy. Keep your eye out today for more emails, more phone calls, more rants from the community as we call to action the responsibility of making sure that all members of our community are taken care of correctly. So Josh Nomad, thank you, News Now 702, for posting that. And I'm gonna try something real quick. You guys have been talking for an hour and a half. Do you think I can get back up to the top of this chat line and get to someone who was bounced out allegedly of this page? No, it won't let me go past 10. So we'll figure that out shortly. There's Eric Brandt's email. Thank you very much. And I appreciate you all. Stephanie, I'll chat with you on the side. Make those calls on behalf of Eric Brandt, just like I did, and call the news crews. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Thank you, BD. Travel, Caterpillar, Unsubpress, MMA Sensei, I don't know who Poland. Oh, Scott Poland. Yes, that's another attorney. Sorry, I know some of you are dropping, but I'm just getting back into some of this, Boss Mayor. Yeah, that's another one. Scott Poland is another attorney. And I'm probably going to give Mark a call too today. Selena, you stay safe. Jeff is here. Bam. In jail uniforms as a mass soccer mom. That's a problem. That's right. So, again, folks, it's been an hour and a half. I didn't get one mask, so I got to finish fixing this machine. I got an order for 40 masks for the medical people. I got an order for 30 masks, possibly from one of you auditors. So keep it up, keep it safe. Bam, back at you all, George Halen, and God bless you. Thank you for the time. If you want your own face mask, I've got stacks I'm getting ready to make. Pierre Flulin, $15, cuttheplastic@gmail.com. David Lane, I'll send him an email. Lacey, you should just communicate with me directly on that, and we can get a better list. One of the things that I've told Eric is that if he mails me a list of the things that he's asking for, it would be a lot easier to get it than piecemeal from all over the place. I will get that. See, I got that. And I will get to it on sub. Hour and 40-minute live stream. And I do make children's masks as well. Very good, Selena. I will see you all later.